We have a News 4 Fact Finder update. Last night, we introduced you to the Harris family, sharing their lives after Hurricane Michael ruined their home. Fact Finder Caroline Gerhardt has new developments in the aftermath of Hurricane Michael, one of the most devastating storms ever.
Hours before our report exposed what the Harrises believe is the failure of a government-funded home restoration program, they got a visit. Rebuild Florida officials seemingly paid a company to move the Harrises' household furnishings out of storage. The family's photo albums, furniture, essentially their entire home was packed away in these portable units on the property, courtesy of Rebuild Florida. Now, Rebuild Florida is closing the Harrises' case and took steps to get their storage units back. Regina says their belongings that were in the unit went in fine and came out covered in mildew. She says she's not surprised since Rebuild Florida stored them for 2.5 years. 45 days had been the projection. The Harrises tell me because of that mildew, they didn't want the furnishings back in their rebuilt home. This is a new development in a saga of issues for the Harris family. As we shared yesterday, they believe the repair work Rebuild Florida did on their home was shoddy. They tell us crews narrowed hallways so much that Regina's husband, who is wheelchair bound, can't get through the doorways and hallways. Going back to those storage pods, though, Regina says she was asked by Rebuild Florida to pay for the storage pods herself or remove her belongings by herself. She says they then offered to remove the items for her. Today, those storage pods still sit empty on the Harrises' property, not far from where their belongings are now piled up in the yard.
Caroline Gerhardt, thank you. News 4 received a comment from the Florida Department of Commerce, who is over the Rebuild Florida program, that says in part they have done everything to return the Harrises to a decent, safe, and sanitary home. They understand a contractor's right and expectation to retrieve storage units they're paying for after completion of a project and are rooting for a happy ending for Mrs. Harris and her family.
And now, from the Forewarn Weather Center, meteorologist Zach Hatchett.
Warm weather again today. This unseasonable warmth continues for a while, but eventually we're going to bring those temperatures back down. I'm tracking much colder air. I think we can use the word colder with what we're going to be seeing soon enough. But this morning, temps were comfortable in the upper 50s.